Hello everybody, Dokkan Assets here. Today we are back with another figure news video, and I'm telling you right now, ladies and gentlemen, this is not the bi-weekly figure news video that you are used to, but I wanted to do a quick little update video on this as I have been covering third-party news for a little bit now, and it seems like you guys really enjoy the third-party figure content, so I wanted to throw up this, hey, you should get your pre-order in now for this video. We have on display here today the 5K Toys pre-order for the Beast Deities, aka Kong Studios BROLY. That is right. This is a very, very cool figure. Obviously, this is using basically what is 3.0 articulation for a figure that is as big as BROLY, which is absolutely insane. If I do say so myself, to see a figure this big of this quality of joints. I am going to be very, very curious when this guy actually comes out, how the joints will be basically like just being able to be operated and everything. I mean, everything looks pretty solid, obviously, from these production images. It looks like BROLY will be coming with, obviously, the standard body with the fist and the head. He'll be coming with 3 different face plates besides the main one, which the main one is what? The smirking one. I think the other one is the angry one, and then we have the smiling one, and then we have the shouting one, I believe is what that is. We also have a crossed arms piece, which is awesome for BROLY, if I do say so myself. And then we have a semi-open palm hand, a open palm hand, 2 hands that have key blasts in them, which I think is really cool. Rather than having an accessory, it's just attached to the hand. I honestly think that that is a great way to do it. And I'm not exactly sure what those extra... Oh, right, duh. Those are the Beast Deity hands. How could I forget? Those are going to be basically like the wolf hands, or the quote-unquote Fenrir hands. Let's take a look at the other information that we have. Yeah, so talking about that, right, obviously for this one, because what they love to do with these third-party figures is that they love to basically like mask these as something else, so then they can sell it as you know, not a Dragon Ball figure, and then I'd be like, oh, you know, this is what it is. Wow. So as you can see, this one is basically going to be Fenrir, and it's going to have like the wolf head with the wolf hands and whatever that thing is above BROLY's cross arms. That was on the other image too. I actually have no idea what I'm looking at. Oh wait, I think that's... Was that the thing that they teased a really long time ago? I talked about that in a previous video. I think that's a thing of BROLY's hand grabbing onto someone's hair. I'm not exactly sure who that is, but I'm pretty sure that's what that accessory is. Interesting. Well, that'll be curious to see who that actually connects to. I have no idea what that piece will actually go to, because I know they teased that as a Xeno character. Maybe they teased that for Xeno Vegeta when it got teased. In the comments, if you know, you can definitely let me know there. But some other interesting information about this figure. First of all, this is pretty interesting. This is really big, right? This was the first size chart they put up, and then they put up this one. This is kind of insane that this guy is going to be this big. So obviously, that is the Kong Super Saiyan 3 Goku, and that BROLY figure, I believe, is the official. He looks a little bit more shiny than the official, and the head looks a little bit weird. He might be like a fake, honestly, of the, you know, Dragon Ball Super BROLY figure. But I believe that is the size of the SHF BROLY. I have no idea what is in his hand. It looks like he's holding a crystal ball or something like that. But apparently the Kong Studios BROLY is going to be so much more insanely bigger than this guy, which is insane, honestly, that he's going to be that big. That's huge for an SHF figure. Now, we'll talk about this in a little bit. We'll talk about the actual pre-order now, because I think that that is, you know, the next thing that we should be pinpointing. By the way, speaking of pinpointing or pen pointing, haha, terrible transition, I'm sorry. But obviously, for all the different little parts of this, of course, the way that Kong likes to do it is that they are like, oh, you know, this one is like a Fenrir figure, and then the hair is like a, you know, oh, it's a pen holder, and then of course the face plates are emotional support bookmark memory things. So as you can see, obviously you get a little bit of a better look at the heads there. People are saying in the comments that this is sold out, but as far as I'm aware, you can still just buy this just fine. I don't know if it was like a thing of maybe the website wasn't loading properly, but the very interesting thing about this figure is that for a figure of this size, and especially for BROLY, this thing is actually going to be extremely cheap at $78. Now, I know what you might be thinking, like $78 kind of sounds like a lot, I guess. But you have to take into consideration some of these Kong figures up until this point have already been like the Gokus and the Goku Black figures, right? The Super Saiyan 3 Goku and the Super Saiyan 3 Rosés, right? And all that stuff. They've basically been like 50 to 60 bucks on their own. So the fact that BROLY is only around 80, and not to mention most of the time the Dragon Ball Super BROLY, and even well, I mean, it's been a while since it was sold, but the last like SDCCZ BROLY, right? Nowhere near this price in terms of like comparing it to the size that this figure actually is, because I think that Dragon Ball Super BROLY obviously, you know, apparently is this small compared to this BROLY, and I believe he's like an $80 figure if memory serves. So for a figure this big of SHF quality, this is a fantastic price. I was honestly really scared that they were going to charge quite a bit of money for this guy, because I was already thinking like, man, some of these Kong figures are a little bit expensive, I gotta be honest. You know, and even though they're good and they are good quality and I think that they're worth the price, they are definitely a little bit pricey for, you know, I feel like the average person. But this is a fantastic price, if I do say so myself. I think this is like way better than, like, if I was Kong, I would have charged more. That's what I'm saying. So I'm very, very pleased with this price. I don't know, maybe the plastic is just cheap, I'm not really sure. I would hope not, right? I would hope that it's going to be good quality plastic. Maybe it's just inexpensive to make, so they can make it at this cheap. Listen, if they can make a figure this cheap, that means that we are really getting scammed by Bandai out in these streets. But with that being said, right, obviously you can pre-order the figure right now on the 5K Toy website. Of course, I will leave a link in the description below. I'm actually going to open this in a new tab just in case you for some reason can't actually pre-order this. I know I already got a pre-order in on mine, so I already have one, you know, basically like pre-ordered on my 5K Toys account. Yeah, you can still pre-order this. I think people on Instagram were just tripping, or maybe it was a thing of like they couldn't find it, because I know for some reason when you click on 5K Toys on the home page, it's not here, but then when you go to the featured pre-order page, it's right there. So I think it was just a case of people probably weren't able to find the actual page. But anyway, with that being said, right now you are going to be paying 20 bucks. You have to put that down right at this very moment, and then the second payment will be $58 plus shipping. So basically it will be 78 bucks, but then there'll be a little bit of shipping tacked on, which usually isn't too much. I don't think I've ever paid more than 5 to 10 on 5K. I'm pretty sure it's usually more around 5 to 7, to be honest with you. The only thing that does really stink about this, I will say, is that as you can see, this guy is not going to be coming out till Q1 to 2 of 2025. Holy cow. To be fair, Kong / Beast Deities, right, does have a lot of figures already lined up for this year, so it kind of doesn't surprise me that they're basically having a figure be this far ahead, right, in terms of the announcement and being able to pre-order it and stuff like that. But man, that is just unfortunate. That's like even longer than SHF, right? That basically means that this figure is going to take an entire year to come out if it's coming out in Q1 to 2 of next year, which is kind of unfortunate. I will say, I definitely don't think that this is actually accurate with all of the individual prices for these, with the $70 for the figure and the $30 for the pen holder and the $20 for the bookmarker, right? Because they even say it here, right? Full price of the figure is $70, you know, $30 for the pen holder, $20 for buy the combo to enjoy the $42 discount. I think that that's just BS that they put on there, just like they have like the background information for Fenrir, right? I think that that's honestly just BS that they put on there to be able to be like, oh yeah, this is definitely not a Dragon Ball figure and you should definitely still buy this. So I wanted to make this video to basically just make you aware that this exists, because I know a lot of the time when it comes to these Kong figures, people are basically like, oh wow, these are cool, where can I get them? and then the pre-order has closed months ago. So I wanted to make you guys aware now of this. By the way, the last thing that I did want to cover in this video is that I don't know how familiar all of you are with this particular Broly figure, but we did have a teaser a really long time ago that they were going to be making a Super Saiyan 4 and a Super Saiyan 5 Broly. I'm not sure if the Super Saiyan 5 Broly is still going to be happening, as that was a teaser from a really long time ago, and that stuff is, you know, very subject to change. However, what's very interesting here is that in the image, Super Saiyan 4 Broly is not mentioned. As you can see, though, this is a little bit of like a teaser as to the other two versions that are going to be using the same body, one of them being Super Saiyan 3 Broly, which is awesome, as you can see there on the right. I am very excited for that as a Super Saiyan 3 enjoyer, Super Saiyan 3 super fan. I am really excited for that one, and apparently a battle damage version. Now, I don't know if that is going to have some kind of different transformation attached to it, and they're just not showing it yet, or if it is quite literally just going to be a pure battle damage Broly, because the funny thing is, like, I don't think we've ever really had just a battle damaged Broly before. I don't think I've ever seen that in a figure besides maybe like that one that's made by the guy who does the monster sculpts for the Ichiban Kuji figures. I forget which one it is, but it's the Broly where he's like holding his hand behind his head and he's about to throw the ki blast, right? That looks like the big monstrous, like super detailed Broly figure. Because in the movies, he isn't really battle damaged, at least in the first movie. I'm kind of wondering if this is maybe going to be like a Broly Second Coming Broly, where he'll have like the scar on his chest or something like that. I don't know. If you know more, you can let me know in the comments for sure. But regarding the Super Saiyan 4 Broly, they do actually give us a little bit of an update on that here, which is very interesting. So obviously they say here, preview the other two versions using the same body and different somewhat. They are not final, not open for pre-orders yet, right? Obviously, the B011L and the B012L, right? So they do mention here, right? SS4 for sure, right? So that will be happening, but it needs a new body because of the fur on the body. It will be in a future wave. Super Saiyan 4 for sure, but not on this body because Super Saiyan 4 has fur. Future wave. So basically, they're talking about the fact that because of the fact that obviously, you know, Super Saiyan 4 Broly is, I don't want to say he's a furry guy because that's a terrible word to use in the modern internet, but, right, obviously, when it comes to Broly's upper half, right, basically everything that is skin on Broly, besides, like, I guess his chest and his abs, is all Super Saiyan 4 fur, right? So, essentially what they're saying is that he is going to be in a future wave because of the fact that they have to add the fur to the figure, and it's not as simple as just, you know, like for the battle damage one, scuffing up the pants, and then obviously making a different head sculpt. Now, I will say, it is a little bit of a weird one to me, to be honest with you, because I would think all that they would have to replace is the, like, skin parts, right? Or just add it on top, because Broly's like gauntlets and his pants are still the same when he's Super Saiyan 4 Broly from Dragon Ball Heroes. So I'm not really sure why that's so complicated, right? Because I would think they would just take those parts and then sculpt the fur onto it, but I don't know. I'm not a figure creating expert, unfortunately. Regardless, though, it is still cool to see that there is an update for that, because I know out of all of these Brolys, ironically enough, that was probably the one that I was the most excited for. I didn't even know they were going to do a Super Saiyan 3 one, so I'm really excited for that too. But it is good to know that we are going to be getting that Super Saiyan 4 Broly at some point, even if it will be in the far future. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. Again, I just wanted to make this just so you are all aware that this is something that exists. Hopefully you can get your pre-orders in. These Kong figures last for usually quite a bit of time, so I don't think that it's going to be anything like, oh, they're going to sell out right away or sell out on the first day. So you still got a little bit of time, but obviously I would say just definitely slide that pre-order in as soon as you can. But that is going to do it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Dokkan is out. Hold it! Well, I'd like to formally apologize for the need of an amends on this video, because as it turns out, Yeah, this guy is now no longer available for pre-order. I did not anticipate this happening. I literally recorded the first part of this video before I went to bed, and I was like, yeah, I'm way too tired. I'm just gonna, finish all of the, like, editing and, uploading and the thumbnail and all that stuff. Do it all tomorrow when I wake up and post the video. But lo and behold, I wake up to a bunch of notifications from the 5K Toys Instagram, and yeah, there was actually a post on here before that explicitly said pre-orders have been closed, but they took it down now as well. Obviously, you can see from, of course, what we were looking at just moments ago in the video, a bunch of the other stuff is also taken down, right? The little Broly preview, the actual picture of Broly on there, and even the one where it was like this image. Well, I think this is actually the same one that was originally in front of the, the pen holder and the faces, because they just updated the actual, like, info on it. But as you can see here, they updated this 4 hours ago. They edited the Instagram comment there, and it says pre-orders closed and all paid deposits are effective. The second payment will be given when it releases as a different link. There is no information about back order or stock sale at this time. They are very small, limited run, and made to order. So this is a little bit of a weird case, because as far as I am aware, or at least as far as I have been, or long as I have been following, I should say, 5K and, Beast Deities, aka Kong, they have never done something like this before, right? Usually all the time with their figures, basically the way that it works is that you are able to basically, get pre-orders in for the first round of the figures, and then essentially the pre-orders will close after they've filled, and then when the figures actually get shipped, they ship a bunch of extra stock, right, to basically come along with the pre-orders, so then people can get some of that extra stock if they missed out on the pre-order, right? That's usually the way that this works. But apparently, that is not going to be the case with this guy, and not only that, this is actually really doing some people dirty, I'm not gonna lie. Unfortunately, I don't think that we can sort Instagram comments by, like, the time that they were posted or anything like that. But this was not available for a very long time. I got very lucky that I was just up in the wee hours of the night, and I was able to get a pre-order for this guy, because if you see, right, somebody said here, when is the pre-order? This person said, I'm not mad about it being limited time, but 10 hours though, 1 a.m. to 12 p.m. without any communication, at least give it a chance. I was asleep and missed the pre-order. I was legit so excited for this figure, and now I'm never going to be able to get it. Yeah, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, right? Absolutely no warning. Yeah, just happen to have dumb luck. That was basically me too. The thing is, right, that's so crazy about this. Yeah, I just noticed they're talking about the battle damage one. They even took away that post that we were looking at before that had the other versions of the figure, right? The Super Saiyan 3 one and the battle damage one. So I am honestly kind of disappointed in 5K and Beast Deities for this, to be honest. I don't know if that's a little bit too overzealous to say, but it just feels really unfair to people who, literally just weren't awake at, like, basically midnight, right, for the United States, because this went up basically in the AM hours in the morning. So unless you're a, night owl like me, you probably weren't even going to see this, right, unless you happen to wake up early and then see it before they close the pre-order. I don't really have a problem with them making it a limited item, right, where it's like made to order, but I think they should have communicated that in the first post, because nowhere in the post that we took a look at throughout this entire video did it have any indication that this was going to be a limited run. As far as it seemed, it was just going to be a normal, Beast Deities release. So this is really, really unfortunate to see, to be honest with you. Honestly, this may be one of the first L's that I've ever seen from Beast Deities and 5K. I don't know if the decision to do the posting in the way that it was from 5K. Obviously, of course, having it be a limited run and made to order is, of course, Beast Deities, because they're the one making it and producing it, and then obviously they need the number of orders to be able to make that many copies. But, right, the thing is, Obviously, when it comes to how the posts were made and the timing and obviously opening and closing the pre-orders, I don't know if that was on 5K or Beast Deities. I would really like to know. But yeah, if you go to the website, right, we're obviously on the featured pre-order page here. It is not here anymore, right? It is completely gone. Obviously, it wasn't even on the home page because I showed you yesterday that it wasn't appearing there, right? Even if we just search, let's just search Beast, because obviously then if we search that, it'll come up with anything Beast Deities related. Yeah, you can see that the only things that they have up on the website currently, this is obviously not a Beast Deities thing, but they still have the Goku, the Vegeta, the Zycor, and the Super Saiyan 5 Goku available for either pre-order or stock on the website. So that is really, really unfortunate. I apologize that I did not just upload this video when I initially recorded it, because then some people may have been able to sneak a pre-order in. With that being said, though, I suppose now this video is basically a message to you that if you are interested in this sort of thing, please, please, please go on to the 5K Instagram and turn on notifications. I know that unfortunately you'll be getting notifications for all this other stuff that's not Dragon Ball related, but if you really want these Beast Deities figures, right, this is just the way that you're going to have to do it, right? This is just the way that it's going to have to be if you want to be able to cop one of these guys. Obviously, like we showed earlier in the video, I can't even show you now because obviously the post is not there anymore, but right, they are going to have these other versions of Broly, assuming that that battle damage version of Broly is just going to be, right, the same Broly, right, or at least just, you know, like legendary Super Saiyan Broly. Obviously, I'm sure for most people that will probably be a good enough replacement. Of course, people want like the standard look for the character, but obviously that will be the closest to just the standard look that people will be able to get, because obviously, you know, apparently this one isn't even going to have back stock. So I suppose that that is also something that is subject to change, right? Like, I know they said it's a very small limited run and made to order, but I could definitely see, like, when the time comes for these guys to ship, they're like, oh, hey, we have a couple extra that are up on the site. I certainly wouldn't bank on that, because obviously usually that is the case, and I know sometimes I've even banked on that, but because they're explicitly saying it's a limited run, I don't think I would bank on that this time, but I suppose it's still a possibility. But let me know what you think of this in the comment section below. Again, please, 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 if you are interested in this Broly or in those other two forms of Broly or anything else when it comes to Beast Deities, definitely go on the 5K Toys Instagram, search it up, turn on your notifications, and go crazy, because obviously you don't want to miss these figures if you really are interested in them. But thank you guys so much for watching. Again, I apologize that I didn't put this up earlier. Now I kind of feel bad about it, but oh well, I guess it is what it is. I had no idea this was going to happen. So thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you did enjoy, and I will catch you in the next one. Dokkan Assets out. Peace.